Next up, we're going to be joined by Akron head coach Ryan Gensler, as well as Kieran McGuff actually is going to be the one joining us here. So they'll come on in just a second, and we'll get to talking to them as Ryan Gensler enters his third season. And here he is, the man, the myth, the legend, Ryan Gensler. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm glad our sound is working so we can stay on time.
I'm also very glad that your sound is working as well. Kieran, how are you doing today? Glad to get to
I'm
talk to you
doing
as well.
good. Yep,
Awesome.
I'm doing
Well, very
good.
excited to dive into this. So this is your third year at the helm of Akron. What's it been like so far for you? What have you learned from your first 2 years here?
Yeah, I think I came here at a really interesting time in college sports when the transfer portal, is open and free flowing, NIL, all those kind of things. And I think I've given our staff a lot of credit for adapting with us to figure out what works here at Akron and what we know that we can coach. And we've taken the approach of, doubling down on getting skilled, mature players that love ball. And, year after year, we've continued to do that. And really excited to see that come to fruition with this year three and adapting and seeing what it can lead to on the court for more success and having a healthy season.
Yeah, you bring back a lot of production this year, but you also add a few, transfers into the mix and a couple freshmen, including the transfer sitting next to you right now, Kieran McGuff. What's impressed you the most about her since she got on campus?
Versatility is first and foremost. When you talk about being skilled, being mature, and loving ball, she hits all three of those criteria out of the park. And she'll do whatever. If we ask her to play point, if we ask her to play center, or anything in between, she's very willing and able to do that. Obviously playing and competing against her has been a challenge in the past. And so to have someone like that on our side, but knowing how much she loves the game, how much she cares for her teammates, it's a dream come true to coach a player like that.
Right. I was going to say, Kieran, you know this league well. You've played against Akron in the past. What was it about Akron that made you want to come here and join this program?
Well, every time we played Akron, it was always a close game. I think they really stuck well to the concepts that they applied. I like the way that their ball movement and their offense, they get after it on both ends of the court. So when I had the opportunity to come play for Coach G, it was really a no-brainer.
Yeah, absolutely. Another new addition that I want to talk about, Ryan, is Kaylee Bransford, because she's someone I vividly remember standing with you at an AAU tournament as we were watching her a few years back, and you were like, "I really like this kid. I want this kid," and you have her now. So what do you like so much about her? What's she going to add to this team?
She's a dynamic personality first and foremost, and she's an exceptionally hard worker. If you know anything about the Bransford family, that's what sticks out. Very blue collar in their approach to everything that they do. We're really excited that she's a part of this basketball team, and the sky is going to be the limit for her moving forward, handling adversity and handling every situation that comes across her plate. She's handling with grace and with incredible humility and with incredible work ethic. So that's exactly what you want in an incoming player and exactly the type of kids that we have on this team.
Where have you seen the biggest growth in your returning core that's coming back? Where have you seen the biggest improvements?
You can't teach experience. We had 9 different leading scorers over the course of last season, and some of that was by way of injury. When you take a couple people out and insert a couple people, there's going to be some natural uptick in those things. But the ones that return have experience now, and for a lot of them, last year was the first time they had real game experience that they could battle through, and that's been reassuring to be able to apply those things and come in at a good level with things and indoctrinate the new players to that as well and get them up to speed.
Kieran, your dad is someone I know pretty well, Kevin, over at Ohio State, right? What's the biggest thing that you've learned from him, whether it's kind of in the coaching mind of his or as a dad that's helped you as a player?
I think it's definitely like his unconventional approach. He'll look at a problem from many different ways and like find a solution that maybe isn't the most obvious one. So I've always thought, especially in basketball, sometimes the best solution isn't always the one that people conventionally take. It's usually like taking another route. And I think he's done a great job of that in his time coaching. And that's just what I try to take with me as a player.
What's the biggest thing you've been working on this offseason that we're going to see from you on the floor this year?
I think just my leadership and playing like both sides really well. Last season, I wasn't able to really give the defensive effort I know that I can my freshman year. So this year, I'm really excited to bring back that side of me, as well as, expanding my offensive game.
Ryan, what are your goals for this year and your expectations for this group that you've put together?
Just continuous improvement over the course of the year. I think, when things got really tough for us by way of injury in conference last year after starting 3-1 in the league, we adapted to a style that allowed us to be more versatile and to play people at different positions. And, I think everyone's accepted that as the best way for us to play and compete and win. And that's something that we got better at as the season went along, and something that we've kept with us since June and into the fall. So just continuous improvement over the course of this non-conference and then into the season, and to be able to play off of one another and create for one another, to really build those strong bonds that they have made in the offseason, to let that show on the court. And that's, my job as a head coach every day is to make sure that they're connected and to make sure that they allow themselves to reach their full potential.
I did maybe make a phone call about you, and you didn't pick up, but he sent me a text and he told me something I have to ask you about. So I need to ask you about your last dunk contest ever. Tell me about it. What do I need to know?
Might be my last and only dunk contest. Yeah, your dear friend, Coach Paulus, the head men's basketball coach at Niagara, and I go way back to high school days, and he played point guard at Duke from 2005 to 2009. And for his senior year, they were playing North Carolina. I'd never been able to go to a game, and he had a ticket for me. Night before the game, he calls and says he has a ticket. I leave immediately to go to watch the Duke North Carolina home game. And that night, they had a tailgate with the students, and they had a dunk contest. And okay. I entered the dunk contest and, made GP proud. And, it'll be something that we'll tell our kids and grandkids someday of, Coach G's 360 dunk in the parking lot of Cameron Indoor. So we'll leave it at that. We'll see. If we have good cause for and purpose, to really get on up there, we will. So, these players give me good energy every day. So we'll see what's in store.
One more thing I need to hit you on before we go, because I think everyone deserves to know this, because I know this. And I think, Kieran, maybe you don't know yet because you're new. Maybe you do. Maybe he talks about it all the time. But I don't think I've met a bigger reality TV fan than myself until you. You and your obsession, the Southern charm. I heard Vanderpump Rules is in the mix too. You love it. I don't think I've met someone who loves reality TV more than me until you.
Well, I think I love my wife most importantly. And in order to maintain that level of love, it's to watch those shows. I can't get into the Real Housewives stuff. Don't know any of those characters. But, when your dad moved to Charleston, you and I hit it off of all the Charleston favorites and restaurants and, characters in those shows. So, yes, well, I love watching.
I met one of them, right? I was sitting next to someone that you knew who it was.
Craig. Yeah, absolutely. Craig and Chef. Yeah. Chef, those are like staples down there.
Yes, well, we'll get you up to Charleston. You'll meet him yourself some point soon, and maybe you'll have a little fan moment. But excited to see what you guys do on the court. It was great talking to both of you, and hopefully I'll get up there at some point this year.
We'd love to have you back. Thanks so much, Tal.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Good talking with you.